My name is Dr. John Diamond, and I'm one of the new hosts for America Unhinged, which will be a new show that starts first thing every morning on the Brighteon TV live stream platform. I want to just talk to you a minute about why it is so important that as Americans we begin to raise up what we would call alternate journalism. I want to read a quote from Ben Franklin. Back in 2003, I studied a 3-year project where I studied all the Founding Fathers' writings, and I ran across a quote that really didn't fit into my book, but I didn't realize that 20 years later how important it would be. So Benjamin Franklin in 1731, now think about this, this is 45 years before the Declaration of Independence, wrote a piece called The Apology for Printers, and it appeared in the Pennsylvania Gazette. Let me tell you what that thing says. It says, printers are educated in the belief that when men differ in opinion, both sides ought to equally have the advantage of being heard by the public, and that when truth and error have fair play, the former is always an overmatch for the latter. So we have to understand what we have today in America, in American journalism. Journalism in America is dead. And the talking heads that you see, people that you see just like you see me now, they sit in a production meeting and they're told what they can and what they cannot say. They have earpieces in their ear and they're told at the spur of a moment how to change the narrative, how to ask a question. These people are nothing more than puppets, all right? Talking heads that are trying to push not only America, but really the entire world into this kind of one world cabal where everybody is enslaved and controlled by a very, very small handful of people. So one of the things that I think is an absolute blessing from this new Brighteon streaming platform is that none of the people that are on this platform are being controlled by anybody. I can tell you my show is controlled by nobody but the Holy Spirit. But the people that we have on here are rock solid. They've got a track record of honesty and fairness and objective journalism. And the reason that you have to understand why that is so important, I spent 8 years in the Air Force, and I was trained in leadership school during the Cold War. All right, so I know what communists do. I understand communist Marxist tactics and how they work. And I told people back then, Stalin said he doesn't care who votes, he cares who counts the votes. When the communists ended up taking over Eastern Europe, they learned a very hard lesson because the only thing they did was they took over all the state media and they thought that they had won. We now control the media, we control the narrative. What they did not understand was that if they did not also raise up and be the controlled opposition, then true journalists and true journalism would come out that would actually advocate the ending of that communistic regime. So what they learned was they had to create what is called the controlled opposition. In other words, they're saying everything that you and I as patriots and Christian and believers, they're saying everything we agree with. And we sit back and cheer, but they offer no solutions. And I saw the greatest candidates, Alan Keyes and Ron Paul, and they weren't just giving the news, they were tearing these people down. I realized you were living under controlled opposition and that you were being deceived by that. So I want to thank Mike Adams personally for not only bringing me on his platform, but the sacrifices he has made to put this platform up. And I pray that you would just share this with everybody you can find. God bless.
Welcome to IMTV. I'm Alan Keyes, and I want to share with you some good news. Now, that's not something we have to look forward to every single day now. Why is that? Because our country is under attack. I think everybody who is actually someone who understands the threat that is now posed to our constitutional self-government understands that there's no business as usual going on. Not in our politics, not in our culture, not in our society. The United States is under attack. And the ones who have launched that attack mean to destroy us. They mean to eliminate the United States of America as we have known it from the history of mankind. The cancel culture isn't just about tearing down statues and this, that, and the other thing. It's about erasing the reality and success of America, substituting a communist diatribe against the history of our country, at least for a time, and then erasing the memory of this country's success from the annals of the world for good. See, because there's no way that the regime that the leftists believe in is going to succeed as long as people remember America. That's why I think they have been determined to shut down every voice that speaks on behalf of the truth about this country, the truth about our past, the truth about our premises, the truth about the connection between our success and the God-fearing premises of the Declaration of Independence, the God-fearing deliberations that inform the Constitution of the United States. These things are under attack, and we are under attack. Those of us who are loyal to liberty, who are loyal to the constitutional system, you've seen it everywhere. What is the hope? Well, in the midst of this attack, I think a lot of folks have become keenly aware of the fact that they're trying to remove American voices, pro-American voices, pro-constitutional voices, pro-God voices from every platform. They don't want anyone hearing the truth. They want the world to be inundated in their lives. Now, we've been working for a while, as you know, with Brighteon. And we come to you on Brighteon's platform. Mike Adams, who we know and love, as I know those of you who watch IMTV surely understand. Bob Sisson, Bob Denny, the people here understand what an important and courageous voice he has been, what a sharp mind he offers. Well, he has turned that mind to developing a platform that will assure that people will be able to present the truth, one that will be independent of the kind of influences that are working to eliminate our voices from the mix, so that the American heart, the American way, will have no spokesman. Well, it's not going to happen. He has been investing time, energy, and the vast resources of his intellect to putting together a platform with independent service, with the things that are required so that we will be insulated from the attack. I'm proud to say that we're working in association with Mike to bring this to fruition, and that IMTV and Let's Talk America will be streaming live on the Brighteon platform in the very near future. I would say that you should hold your breath, but it'll probably be a little too long for that, but I hope not very much too long. We'll be coming to you with the kind of programming that will include, of course, Let's Talk America, but also will include some of the voices that we have worked with and found and discovered that are people standing for the American way in this situation in which the very survival of our country and all that it has to offer, not only our own people, but humanity itself, is at stake. Now, you know this. And by now, a lot of us are filled with a sense of urgency about it. But that urgency needs to be turned into action. And the only way it's going to happen is, first of all, the truth must prevail. We must prevail against the lies being purveyed by these people who now are lying about everything, lying about our history, lying about our success, lying about the success we have had in bringing together, under the rubric of God-endowed unalienable rights, people of every race and nation and creed, in order to prove that, yes, it is possible for a government of, by, and for the people to represent the best hope of humanity for a peaceful and prosperous future for all. I hope that you will pay attention, that you'll join us. We are going to be streaming here, just letting people know what's going on for the next little while. Share that message with everybody you know, and let them know that this is not a time for anyone to give up, to think that the situation is hopeless. The fight is ahead of us, and the platform and infrastructure that is needed in order to do battle is in fact coming, at least in part, with the success of Mike Adams and Brighteon. You can count on us to give everything we've got to make sure that the truth keeps coming out.